Hello guys, meet again with Queen MMA. The trilogy fight between Dustin Poirier and Notorious Conor McGregor at UFC 264 seems to be an unforgettable memory throughout UFC history. That's because of the hype of the trilogy between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, to the loss of the Notorious due to a sprain. This video contains about what caused the King to suffer a shocking defeat, how a series of karma came upon him one after another, what frauds he had committed, some of the harsh actions he had committed against others, as well as predictions against Conor McGregor, if he'd back in the octagon ring later. But before we continue, we remind you to press the subscribe button and hit the bell, so you don't miss other interesting from Queen MMA. Intro. Okay, before we get into the story entitled The Fall of the King, make sure you sit quietly, relax, and away from anything that will disturb the story. Can also be accompanied by a cup of espresso, black coffee, traditional coffee, civet coffee, or boba. One. How the King suffered a shocking defeat. Conor McGregor made his professional MMA debut in 2008, where he then won two different weight classes, featherweight and lightweight 2012 at the biggest MMA event in the world, the UFC. In the course of his career to fame to date, Conor McGregor has also experienced several defeats. Conor's total defeat to date is 6 defeats, where the review can be seen in the previous video, with the link in the description. Conor's most famous defeat was against Russian fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov. And the most recent, and most phenomenal, was his loss in a trilogy duel against Dustin Poirier, where Conor McGregor had to suffer a broken bone in his leg, and had to go home with a stretcher. Not satisfied with his defeat, the Notorious immediately challenged Dustin for his fourth fight shortly after he was declared defeated. With an expression of pain, Notorious also threatened and brought personal things into the octagon ring and thought that the fight was unfair. In his interview, Dustin mentioned that he heard a crack while checking Conor's first kick, but Conor didn't notice.
At the beginning of the fight. Then it broke on a punch, yeah, for sure. When I pointed at him at the beginning of the fight, that's when I checked the good kick. I bet that's when it...
The crack then got worse, when Conor kicked Dustin's thigh until finally his left leg was on the support of Conor's body and injured. Two. The karma one after one, that befalls Conor McGregor. Khabib's comment on Conor, his people say that money and fame make you change. But it's not really that, it's money and fame that makes your true nature come out. That's how fame, money, and the fans who admired him so much made the true nature of Conor out. Yet, not only trash talk, arrogant and like to humiliate his opponent, but also ridicule from fans who were present at UFC 205 where Conor met Alvarez. One fan made fun of Alvarez, who then turned his back on him when Conor McGregor met Dustin in 2021.
Yet in your professional career, you've only went to the 5th round twice and lost one of them. What the are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Conor, right down here. Conor, question for you. You have won exactly one fight since Barack Obama was president.
Shut your mouth, I'll go down and smash your nose.
Conor,
I'll go down and smash your nose. You rat. You little
last 6 fights.
You little rabbit.
The second karma was during his press conference with Dustin, where a lot of Conor's jokes turned to him. One example where he said that Dustin would go home using the stretcher, but in the end it was Conor who went home using the stretcher.
It's a dead body, a blank face. It's gonna get his ass whooped and took out on a stretcher.
Not only that, even Conor said whoever does the takedown first is a coward. But during the battle in the octagon, it was Conor who did the takedown first, and even had time to do the guillotine, which made Dustin gasp. Many fighters responded to the results of the trilogy fight through their tweets, such as Daniel Cormier and Khabib Nurmagomedov. The third karma is the leg injury itself, which if we flash back to 2016 at UFC 196, when he was scheduled to meet Rafael dos Anjos. Unfortunately, RDA suffered a leg injury a few days before the match until the match was finally replaced by Nate Diaz. At that time, Conor made the injury suffered by RDA the subject of jokes and ridicule for years. Now the karma has finally turned to him until Rafael dos Anjos yesterday discussed this case again via his Twitter account, where he said, "When I broke my leg before a game, this guy made a joke about my injury, and he's been doing it for years. Feel your own voice, and be humble," says RDA. Three. Cheats, what does he do? A video suddenly surfaced showing how Conor McGregor did some cheating. Among them, through a statement, Khabib Nurmagomedov revealed when he fought with the Notorious in the UFC 229 event. In that fight, Conor McGregor was rendered helpless through various submissions and ground control in every round. However, recently a video footage emerged showing how Conor McGregor was being massacred by Khabib Nurmagomedov. These forbidden actions include pulling pants continuously, kicking the head with the knee when the opponent is down, namely when Khabib's knee is against the mat, fingers grasping the net when pressed with both hands and feet, and grabbing the opponent's gloves by inserting his fingers. Although referee Herb Dean often warned Conor, but apparently many of these cheats did not get a warning from the referee.
Got away with that one, still doing it. Herb Dean should be warning him there.
Khabib was so furious until Khabib quipped at Herb Dean after the match took place.
Coach, how much they pay? What do you think?
How much did you get paid, Herb? How much?
I was trying to do a good job. In my opinion. Coach, I forgive him.
Not only against Khabib, the statement about Conor McGregor's cheating was also made by Dustin Poirier. In his statement, Dustin said that 3 fingers of Conor McGregor entered into Dustin's glove. Dustin said that he even looked at the referee, but the fight was continued.
He was putting his fingers in my glove and pulling me down to throw the up kick.
Four. Some rude actions he has performed against others. In the face-off, press conference, and behind the stage, Conor McGregor is also famous for his rude attitude. Indeed, there are no rules in trash talk, but what Conor has done according to some is outrageous. The reason is, what Conor said has touched on personal things, accompanied by death threats, even demeaning Dustin's wife. This kind of thing also happened during his fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov, where Conor talked about race, religion, and also insulted Khabib's father. Not only trash talk, while behind the stage Conor also did physical violence where he broke the windows of the UFC athlete's bus, which also contained Khabib. In the aftermath of the incident, there were several athletes who failed to compete due to injuries. Another violence occurred while he was in a bar, where he hit a man during an argument. Some reports said that an investigation would be carried out, but nothing is clear as of now. Five. Prediction against Conor McGregor when he comes back in the octagon. Given all that has happened to Conor McGregor, is the fallen king really dead? Of course not, considering Conor's other ability is selling. Where even when he lost, Conor had time to plan his fourth match for a comeback duel. It seems that Dana White also agrees with the possibility of a fourth match, as well as Dustin Poirier, who doesn't mind it. The scenario that occurs is, the next match for Dustin Poirier's fight is against Charles Oliveira for the championship belt. Dustin himself is currently at his peak considering his young age. So it is very likely that the next battle will be won by Dustin. If that happens, Dustin will become the lightweight champion. Then the Conor vs Dustin 4 duel will become a title fight. It was a pretty clever move for Conor McGregor. However, in his fourth duel later, can Conor defeat Dustin, or will Conor be the one to be embarrassed once again? Khabib, in his prediction, reveals that Conor is far different in level from Dustin. Conor's heyday has passed. Conor is no longer savage, but Dustin is now a savage fighter and focused on his goals. Meanwhile, Conor in several press conferences also showed his distrust by attacking the opponent's personal and several threats.
Landed on the wonky leg like Anderson Silva that time. Something similar to that. It's a mad out business.
So, guys, that was the trilogy duel between Dustin Poirier vs the Notorious Conor McGregor. Please add in the comments column. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. See you in the others video. See ya.